Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Kirtan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveda Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Gaura Premanandi.
I was going to mention one, when you start singing Jaya Radha Madhava, that we just acquired, or just inaugurated Bhaktivinoda Thakur's home in Kolkata, which was going to be destroyed. And we got those deities that inspired him to write that song that we sing in all of our temples.
Wow. This song, actually, if we closely analyze and see, that gives the window to see the spiritual world, what the spiritual world looks like. It explains. So when we repeatedly chant, before we talk about Krishna, then this will immediately remind us and connect us to that spiritual world and that Supreme Personality in our mind all the time. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Sthapitam Ena Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesya Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Basadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, thank you so much. Bhagavad Gita, this is the book. I hope all of us have this book, one copy. Do you have one of this?
No.
Okay. Maybe you can have one today.
Yes.
Yeah? Prabhu will make sure he will give you one copy. And this Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful book is a song of God, spoken by Supreme God, Sri Krishna, personally. It is not written by somebody else quoting him, but he personally spoke from his lotus mouth. So, what he wants to tell us, he is putting his inner desire, inner mind, inner idea into this book. And mostly people understand Gita as the Bible of Hindus, Hindu people who come from India. Mostly people have that understanding. Like people categorize Bible belongs to Christian people. Quran, oh, this is the book of Islam. Bhagavad Gita, a book of Hindu. But that is not the case. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has not mentioned about that tiny groupism. Okay, I am Hindu God, so this knowledge is meant to promote my people only. So when we study Bhagavad Gita, I wanted to discuss from chapter 15 today. This chapter 15 is considered to be the philosophical conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. It includes all the philosophies, Western, Eastern, any philosophy that exists in this world is all conclusion. The condensed form is given in chapter 15. So if you have time, it is always better to read the whole chapters. But if you come across 15th chapter and study deeply and go deeper with proper understanding, then this will definitely lead us to that philosophical conclusion of all the religion, all the philosophy, all the religion, all the text of this world. Where Krishna has divided the people into two categories. Like in our modern civilization, we think, oh, this is Nepali, this one is American, maybe African or Chinese. We have so many classification in the society. But Krishna is not seeing us in that way. His vision is totally different. He says that Dwau imam purusau loke. Dwau means two. Dwau, is it related to Spanish also too?
Do in Spanish.
Dwau. In Sanskrit too. Imam means in this world. Loke means in this world. Purusha means living being. There are two types of people in this world. He is not categorizing personality A, personality B, personality C, or American, or Chinese, or Asian, like that. No, he is including all the living being that lives on this planet into two divisions. So when we try to see things from our eyes, from our perspective, from our narrow understanding, we may not be always perfect in understanding things. But if we see through the eyes of Krishna, if we try to understand from the eyes of God, then we see the bigger picture and real picture of reality. So he says that there are two kind of people. One is Chara, another Akshara. One breaks down, one falls down. One type of people, they do not stick to the principle. They do not follow any regulation in their life. They do not follow or they do not train their mind, or they do not control the urges of senses. And they keep doing whatever they want, and then they again and again fall from the principle. And the other group of people, they always remain stick to the principle and follow everything properly, and then focus on the goal, purpose of life. So these two categories of people, and majority of people in this world are in the first category who fall down, who breaks down, who do not hold things, who do not follow properly. So when we develop our consciousness and when we try to develop our mind to see through the eyes of God, and we can see the bigger picture, just like if I have a friend who is involved in drug addiction, and if I have association with that personality, I know more about drugs. I only think about drug. How can I make more money selling drugs? How can I enjoy more using more and more drugs? How can I experience more bliss in injecting a lot of drugs in my body? How can I steal money from people so that I can buy drugs? All I think, all I see is the whole world filled of drugs and drug addicted people. If I have a friend like a devotee friend, if I am a friend with Kirtan or Atula Govinda or any devotee friend and I go to him, I always hear about what he talks. He always talks about chanting holy name, studying Bhagavad Gita, going out for Harinam, distributing Prabhupada books. So his mind is filled with these kind of activities. And slowly I become like that. I develop that taste in me. For example, if you become friend with the Prime Minister of India, just for example, Mr. Narendra Modi, and we start seeing things according to India's perspective. We see only India everywhere, how India does business, how India develops its diplomatic relationship with other countries, how India is growing up in their economic development, how India is doing in the border patrol, in the border security, all the things that we see from that perspective. But when we become friend with Krishna, then we see the things according to Krishna's vision. Ultimately, all of us want to be perfect, correct? And we know that I cannot be perfect by analyzing this world on my eyes because I am limited. My senses are limited. I can see only so much. I do not know what is going on outside of this house. There are a lot of crime happening right now. People are shooting each other. Some people are crying in labor pain in hospitals. Some people are mourning for somebody's death. All this is going on outside. I have no idea. My eyes only can see within this room. My ear is so limited that I cannot hear so many things. Even within this room, there are so many little bacteria, little virus, little bugs. They are talking and having feast and party and going on all kind of activities, but I can only hear as per my ear allows. Same way, all the senses, they have so much limitation. So when I try to conclude something on the basis of my limited senses, my conclusion automatically become limited and imperfect. So this is why we take shelter of Krishna to understand things. And this book, including other Vedic texts like Upanishads, are read and enjoyed by great Western philosophers as well of different times. Because these books are not simply talking about devotion. Krishna is not saying that, okay, just do devotion, forget everything. You do not need to live your life. You do not need to make your life prosper. No, he's not talking about that because he is giving all the principle of this world, how things work, all the root principle, underlying principle. Is called in Sanskrit. It is called rhythm. So when we understand that principle, and that makes us to live our life in a nice way, we can achieve our goal by following that principle given in Bhagavad Gita. So these people who understand how to keep things balanced in this life, like how do we maintain the purpose? What is the purpose of life? This is what given in Bhagavad Gita. One can understand one's purpose. Like in modern days, all this young generation, nowadays generation, like little kids, they do not worry about purpose. If you ask, what is your purpose? My son told me other day, what do you want to be in your life? And he says that, what is the point of making goal in my life when time is changing every second? I want to be something tomorrow, but when I reach that time, then time has changed and it has different goal. Then my set up goal is useless. So why should I worry about future and why should I worry about anything else? Because everything is changing. But he doesn't have any idea about spiritual goal. He can only see immediate things like how can I enjoy the most in my life. So there was a sadhu who would walk by in the street chanting Hare Krishna every day, awakening people, reminding people, everyone in the street. And then there's one businessman who would always not like to hear that saintly person coming and reminding him about chanting Hare Krishna. And one day the sadhu comes to that businessman and says, I understand you do not like to become a monk or devotee or want to follow a spiritual path, but I wanted to offer you something that I have. Since you are a businessman, you might like to have some more asset in your life. I have a little golden needle, pure gold needle that I wanted to give it to you in one condition. That businessman happily accepted that proposal and said, why not? I would definitely like to have that piece of gold, but I would like to know the condition. What do you want me to do in order to get this golden needle from you? That saintly person says, I don't mind giving to you and I don't want you return back to me, but I want to make sure that you will take with you when you leave this body. Or when you die, I want you to take this golden needle with you so that you can have gold when you go from this world. And that businessman got a little confused, and then he says, okay, not a problem. I will think about it and I'll make sure I'll take it with me. Then sadhu says, I'll come after 3 days and check with you if you arrange to take this with you when you go. And that businessman was thinking, where should I put this needle so that I'll take with me? He thought, let me put it in my pocket. Later on, he realized that when I die, people take off my clothes, or they might bury my clothes or burn my clothes, but it doesn't go with me. Or maybe I can put it in my safe, where I put all my assets, money. Maybe I could take that, and then he realized that also stay behind me. And he decided, maybe let me insert inside my skin so that it is attached to my body, and then I might take it with me. But then he realized his body is also left behind, and he could not find any place to keep that little piece of needle or gold that he could take with him when he died. Then after 3 days, the sadhu came. Businessman, how are you doing? Okay, everything is all right? Yes. But then before he asked that question, the businessman said, I was thinking all 3 days to make sure where could I keep this golden needle, but I could not find any place. And sadhu says, that is the point. If you work so hard in your life and you make so much money in your life, but then when you have to leave this body, then if you cannot take anything with you, what was the point of your hard work and your endeavor and your all active efforts? So Krishna is saying that one can take with the person when they die, that the only thing we can take with us when we leave this body is our attitude, our thought that we develop. Yam yam bhapi smaranam bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram. So whatever thought we think at the time of death, and that thought goes along with us. Like we have seen sometime after this life, I might be changing my body into different species of life. Like for example, I may be dog in next life. If I do have that anger in me now, I develop that very angry mood, mind, and behavior and everything. I may be changing to dog body, but my character is still the same. I become very angry dog, barking all the time when I see people, because I have that uncontrolled anger within myself, in my heart. So if we know the purpose, then we work on it. Like if my goal is like to make so much money, I definitely invest my mind, I invest my thought, and I am always anxious about how can I make money in my life. If I have to become a doctor, I always study very hard, like 24 hours a day. Sometimes doctors, sometimes they study 25 hours in a day. Correct? We have a medicinal person here. Yes. So Krishna is not saying do not live your life. Krishna is not saying do not make money in your life. Krishna is not saying do not do that, do not do this, but he says do not go to one extreme and forget the main goal of life. You can have, so he is teaching just balance it. Balance. So the 1% of the people he divided into two. The people who do not fall down from their principle, they know how to balance life. They know how to keep the ultimate purpose within the heart and involved in these activities, different activities in this world. And then even though we engage in all kind of activities, but internally they are always focused on their goal. And when we are a little bit anxious about our goal, if we know our goal, then we work on that purpose. And then in order to achieve that goal, we definitely need the help of God. We need a blessing, we need a mercy, we need a support. So in order to support our effort to become Krishna conscious and to progress in Krishna consciousness, we have so many opportunities. We have so much scriptures to study. We have so much knowledge to go deeper into. And I wanted to continue about the Lord Nrsimhadev, which we just celebrated other day.
I was going to say, before you go with that, you kept mentioning the purpose. Can you give a clear definition of that purpose, spiritual purpose?
Mm-hmm. All right. So the purpose of life is to first to know who we are, right? If I do not know who I am, and it is very difficult to know what I am supposed to do. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna has explained a lot in chapter 2 about the identity of living being. Most of the time, the identity crisis brings a lot of problem in this world. So it says that all the living being, they are spirit soul. Soul is part and parcel of God, and it is eternal. It does not have any time limit, validation. It never dies. It never takes birth. It never gets old. It remains always the same, even though our body externally grows. When I was a child, I had a different body. Like somebody says that you can never swim in the same river twice, because the water is constantly flowing and every second there's new water coming. So when you go next time, the river is completely new. In the same way, our body is constantly changing from childhood to youth, adult, old, and finally it will die. But you, the original personality, soul, remain the same. So the goal of the soul is to connect to its original source. Original source. Just like when we light a fire, the fire always goes up. Fire never go downwards. The flame of the fire always goes up towards the sun. Sun is the original source of all the fires. Like all the rivers coming from the mountain, they always go down, flowing down, and they always head towards the ocean. And ocean is the source, original source of all the water in this material world. So similarly, the soul naturally tend to go towards God because he is eternally attached and connected to the Supreme Lord. You can name Krishna, Rama, Nrsimha, Jesus Christ, whoever you name. We have that very strong connection to the Supreme Lord. And when we know that I am related and I'm connected, I am part and parcel of God, then I start thinking about how can I come to that personality and how can I build that relationship with him. Then we take shelter of his name, we take shelter of his devotees, we take shelter of his representative that advocate about him, and then we study these books and we become closer and closer by chanting his name, by knowing, by studying, by reading about him, by his different pastimes, all kind of activities. When we hear more about that God, the personality of Godhead, then we naturally develop a very intense desire to be with him, to know more about him. Like if I am connecting with a girl that I want to marry her, then I want to know much more about her. What is her? What does she like? What is her personality? What is her character? What are her dislikes? What makes her very happy? And I know all these details and then I act accordingly so that everything I do pleases her. And then a relationship become very strong and very close. So this way, we understand the goal, we develop the relationship with that personality, and now we start working for him, for his pleasure, for his bliss. And then naturally, we do not have to teach anyone how to love a girl. Same way, the same natural attraction develops within the living being in the heart, and then we want to attain that personality by hook or by crook because we like that person. And then he also wants the same thing with us. So that is the goal, that we come to Krishna consciousness or develop that natural love for him, which we have already in our heart. We don't have to look up outside and develop something else externally. The love of God, it is already in the heart of all the living being, but it may have sprouted in somebody's heart already, or in somebody's case, this seed of love may be in dormant state in the heart, and it might take some time to sprout. As we start watering that seed by hearing, watering the seed by chanting, watering the seed by associating, watering the seed by studying these books, it slowly sprouts in our heart, and it grows and it develops, and then that goal becomes very clear to us and purpose becomes very clear. And we need help from Lord. We need help from devotees. It is not magic, something happens out of blue. We have to work on it. And at the same time, when we sincerely try to work hard, and God knows that this person really wants to know me, or this person really wants to develop a good relationship with me, then God will open all the possible paths for us. The whole universe become helpful to us to understand about God. So we just celebrated Nrsimha Dev's appearance day a few days ago in temple. It was Thursday, April 30th. Lord Nrsimhadev. Many of you may not know about Lord Nrsimhadev. Devotees will definitely know. Narasimha, 2 words together. Nara means human being. We all are Nara. In Sanskrit, female are called Nari. Nari means human being in the female form. Nara means male. So Sanskrit has very special language that has specific word for all the gender wise. It is very specific and very clear and very deeper, connected with all the philosophy, ultimately connected with God. So beautiful language. And all these scriptures are written in Sanskrit, but fortunately our spiritual master Prabhupada has written all these Sanskrit words into English meaning, so that you can study Sanskrit as well. When you study this book, you learn Sanskrit as well. Then Narasimha. Simha means in Sanskrit is a lion. Lion. So when these two words are combined together, Nara and Simha, one word becomes Nrisimha. Nrisimha. So in order to facilitate the devotees' desire to become God conscious, God comes in different form to protect us from so many obstacles that stop us to progress further in spiritual life. So many obstacles come in our life. No matter if it is spiritual life or material life, there are always some obstacles coming, problems comes. And devotees who have a spiritual understanding, they always welcome those problems, because every problem comes with a solution. We are living in this desert, very hot. But because of being so hot, people invented this beautiful AC. There was a problem, very hot, we cannot even live. But that problem gave birth to the idea that why not we do something so that we solve this problem. The problem is solved, we have a fan and AC going on, we do not care how hot outside it is. So every problem that comes in your life, they come to teach us some good lesson. So the real problem the scripture categorize are, there are major 4 problems. Like other minor problem are relative problems. Maybe these problems are okay today, but tomorrow they may not be there. Like if I am unemployed today, I might find a job tomorrow. And this problem might be solved within a matter of time. I may be not very rich now, but if I work very hard, someday I may be like billionaire, who knows? The problem is solved. This way, all these little tiny problems, there are millions of problems, but the scripture says major problem are that everyone goes through, no matter whether the person is rich or poor, whether the person is educated or uneducated, whether the person is highly positioned or humbly positioned. It doesn't matter. So the definition of problem is, problem should be equal to all. And no one can solve it so easily. So that 4 problems are birth, death, old age, and disease. These are the major 4 problems of our life. So these problems comes to us so that we think, why should I go through this birth, death, old age, and disease? Is there a solution to it? Can I remain always youthful? Can I remain always eternally alive? Can I remain always happy? When we start thinking that way, then we look and take shelter of God. So if I give up this body and I return, back home with Krishna, then Krishna has says that you do not have to change your body in a spiritual world. You do not have to grow old in a spiritual world. You do not have to develop so much disease in your body when you come to spiritual world. You do not have to die in a spiritual world. And I am giving you the path. Like Jesus Christ says, I am the only path to Son, to Father. He is giving the same direction, same guidance to all of us. And Krishna says, yeah, you can come to me. I am living in such a beautiful place which is eternal, is never perish. It will never destroy at any time. It is not even illuminated by sun or moon or any other luminary. It is self-luminous place, spiritual world. And once you come somehow by the help of my devotees, then you do not have to come back again to this temporary material world and experience all these problems. So this problem of birth, death, old age, and disease gives us permanent solution that we can take up this spiritual process and return our original home, back to Garden. So in order to facilitate that desire of a living being, Lord comes in different form to help us. So Lord Nrsimhadev is like that. His only business is to protect and give divine path so that his devotees who take shelter of God can tolerate all these shortcomings, all these problems on the way, and then they can make their journey back home journey successful. So there was one great devotee named Prahlad Maharaj in ancient time. And Prahlad was a little boy, very, very interested in his spiritual life from the very beginning of his life. Even though he was a son of a great father, great king, his father was very, very powerful. He was controlling the whole entire three world, all the heavenly planets. When they would hear about him, they would tremble in fear. Such was his power. And he was controlling everything under his control. But he wanted his son become same like him. He wanted his son to carry on that legacy of his family, fame, name, strength, and everything. But somehow that little boy had no interest in his father's activities and his father's strength, his father's property, his father's knowledge, nothing. But he was very deeply attached to God, to whom his father was a great enemy. His name was Hiranyakasipu. Now, if we see that word again, if we divide that word break into two parts, then we understand the meaning of what does Hiranyakasipu means. Like Kirtaneswar, this is a one word, but two words are combined together.
Gold sock bed, something like that.
Yeah. Kirtana means one word. And if we break Kirtan also, we can divide like that. Kirtan is Swara, is another word. When Kirtan means to glorify God by so many ways, by talking about Him, by singing the song of Him, by talking about Him, by discussing about Him. These all activities are Kirtan. But right now we are talking and discussing about Krishna. This is also one form of Kirtan. And before you are leading that Hare Krishna chanting, there is also another form of Kirtan. And Atul Govinda Prabhu is arranging this whole Sunday program, Mantra Oasis. This is also one form of Kirtan. People go and distribute books of God. This is also another form of Kirtan. That we are spreading the message of God to all the people in different ways. And whose glorification we are singing? We are singing the glories of God, Iswara. Iswara means supreme controller. So, Nrsimhadev, the little boy Prahlad was not interested to his father's activities, and he was actually not listening to his father what his father wanted him to learn in his life. But his boy was connected. He was spiritual from the very beginning because he has a special birth from the previous birth. When he was in the womb of his mother, he heard about God somehow or other. And he developed that very deep taste in God. He was very interested to know about God. And he understood that actually my father is not the controller, even though he is very, very powerful. He can control the three world. He can rule people under his kingship. But in fact, he is not original controller. Original controller is God, who controls him and me together. So this way, this boy was very attached to God. And every time his father would ask him about what do you learn in your school, then the boy would always say, oh, I learned so much about Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and then I teach my friend, and God is all controller, he is omnipresent, he is everywhere. You are speaking all this because of the ego, false ego, which is not good. And it will not help you at all, brother. God is more powerful than you. And, the thing that blocks us to come to God is, one very first thing is false ego. False ego means to identify ourselves with something which we are not. Like very grossly talking, I think I am this body, I am this nationality, I am this gender, I am all this external classification of identification that I am this. I don't care about soul. I have not seen God. No one has returned from the God and says that, oh, I see God. People argue like that. No one has seen what happened when they die. Nobody has been to heaven and come back and let us know that, oh, heaven is such a beautiful place. So we have that ego in our heart. We always misidentify ourselves with somebody else. And another thing is we have attachment to enjoy in this material world. Attachment. We are attached to our family. We are attached to our business. We are attached to our immediate, like husband and wife, all these things, money, everything. There are so many things that we are attached to in this world. And the three things that blocks us to come to God is doubt, samsaya. One is asakti, ahankara, and samsaya means doubts. Does God really exist? Is it worth it that I go to mantra voices every Saturday? Is it like worth singing this Hare Krishna mantra every time? Maybe there is nothing after I die. So why do I spending my time and wasting my time? Better I go to the bar, I drink beer, and I go with a woman and enjoy my life better than Hare Krishna do. This kind of doubt always hunt in our mind. Like we chant, sometime we practice this Krishna consciousness 10 years, 5 years, 2 years, 1 year, 15 years. But as long as we keep those doubts in our mind, we sometimes slip away from our goal and from our path. That's what Krishna says, that one people, they always, because of the doubt in their mind, they sleep, they fall, they forget the purpose. So in order to destroy that false ego that we carry in our heart, in order to destroy cut all this attachment that we have in this world, unnecessary attachment, and in order to destroy all the doubts, this Supreme Lord comes in different form to help us. We need help from God, and God comes to help us. But the only thing we accept the help is we have to have desire to destroy those things. If I do not have any desire, if I don't want to endeavor in a spiritual life, if I do not want to clear up my false ego, if I do not want to cut up my attachments, if I do not want to clear my doubts, then nobody can help. Neither our Guru, nor God, nor anybody can help us. Unless I am interested in solving this these issues. So the Prahlad Maharaj was always backed up by God at all time when his father was really mad and angry at him. He really tried to teach him to glorify him instead of God. But his son always did opposite of what his father said. So he decided, this boy is ruining my fame. This boy is destroying our family trade. This boy is not helping me to be glorified in this material world. So I rather kill this boy than have him as my son. So Nrsimhadev, and he was very mad and he was asking, your God doesn't exist anywhere. He is my enemy. I will kill him if he comes here. He lives somewhere very far away. He always hides from me. He doesn't have the power to appear before me. He doesn't have that guts to appear before me because he afraid of me. If your God exists everywhere, then I challenge you. Call him right now in front of me. I can fight with him. And Prahlad Maharaj says, definitely, my dear father, he present everywhere. He is inside you, outside you, inside me, and inside every atom of this world, even in this house, in this pillar, everywhere. And then, mad father, if that is the case, does your God is in this pillar? He had a big palace and there's a big pillar. Does he live here too? Then, of course, why not? Then he took out his big sword and then stroked that pillar with great force. And Lord Nrsimhadev just appears from that pillar in the form of half lion, half man. There are two reasons our Acharya, our teacher, says why the Lord appears in that form. What was the need for him to come out from that? He could kill the demon father by just thinking of him. God can do anything he wants by his desire. If he wants to destroy this material world in 1 second, God can so desire and then it happens. But he comes and he appears in personality in that form to keep the words of his devotees. If I say something about God and if I sincerely following God, and if I am very truthful and very honest and only follow a spiritual path, and if I say something about God and if he doesn't fulfill my words, then people think I am a liar, or people think God does not exist. People think God does not listen to his devotees. So in order to protect his devotees from being falsified, he appears in this world to carry his orders. And then also to prove another reason he appears in that form to prove that God exists everywhere. In every atom. Ananta paramanu chayastam govindamadi purusham tamam bhajami. So when we meditate on that ferocious form, is called Jwala Nrsimha. Jwala Nrsimha. Jwala means flame, the fire. The fiery God, because he's so mad with the demon father, and then he just appeared from the pillar, and he's like really mad, and then he has that great fire. When we meditate on that fiery God, the Lord Nrsimhadev, that destroys our false ego. It crushes into pieces, which is a stumbling block in our devotional life that blocks us to progress in devotional life. So, and there are different kind of Nrsimhadev. We meditate on, and then helps us to gives us a strength, inner strength to fight the illusory energy of this world. We have a battle every day in our mind. We have external battle in this world. We are facing so many external battle, like people are fighting, the big war is going on. People are suffering from war. So people are suffering from so many natural calamities. People are suffering from so much in this material world. This is external suffering. We are already being suffer. But then internally in our mind, within our mind, we are suffering from so many problems. Where we are struggling to maintain our spiritual life. We are struggling to maintain. There are so many rules and regulations. Very hard for us sometimes. So in order to get inspired and get strength to continue with complete faith, we need help of God. Lord Nrsimhadev, He protects us. He backed up us, and then He gives that inner strength. Then our purpose will be more clear, and then we become so strong. So when we restrain from unlimited use of all these senses, when we try to control or discipline our mind, when we say no to the urges of the senses and the mind, that is not helpful for our spiritual progress, then we become internally stronger and stronger, and we are supported and backed up by the mercy of Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Krishna, and we can progress in our life, and we can return back home, back to God, ultimately, finally. So this is power that we have, the power to say no. Other animals do not have this power. They do whatever comes in front of them. But we can stop something, we can filter. Okay, this action I will not do. I will not go to the nightclub. It will not help me in my spiritual life. I could go, but I can say no, I do not go. So in order to boost up my no propensity for wrongdoing, I get help. I need help from God. And this is when Lord Nrsimhadev always protects his devotees. And everything we do in our life, we become materially very successful. We take a big, high position in the society. But if we do not understand and realize that these all things remain back in this material world, they will not actually support us to spiritually growing, then we simply waste our time. The whole life we waste. And we realize at the end of our life, oh, I did so much but in my life, but I have nothing to take with me now. But if we develop this relationship with God, then the great fear, the very fear that we have in our mind, what will happen to me in my future, the loneliness, everything disappears from us. The original reason of fear is we are being away from God. We are stranded in this material world. Like a little child goes to the marketplace in a busy market with the parents. Somehow he missed the parents and running around and looking, try to find his parents. He feel very, very fearful. Where is my father? Where is my mom? I am lost. Oh my God, how can I find my parents? How do I not go home? And he's crying. No matter how all these people try to solace him, giving him like lollipop or some biscuit or chocolate or whatever, the boy never becomes satisfied until he finds his parents. So when he is with his parents, he is not at all fearful. And the scripture says that the protection, that the fearlessness we get from our parents is temporary. It is not a real actual protection. At some point, our parents cannot protect us when we go through some hardship in our life. I have to face myself. Anything that comes in my life, any pain I go through, any problem I go through, no one in this world can share with me. No one can lessen my problem in this world, including my parents. So even though we feel so much protected with our being with our parents, you can imagine God is a real protector. When we have that relationship with Him and when we be with Him, then the sense of real fearlessness arise in our heart. And that is everlasting. Everlasting, everlasting.
Everlasting, everlasting.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be everlasting?
So this is who we are. So when we are in this material world and we have no connection to God or in a spiritual path, then even though we have a nice family, we have a nice society, we have nice people, a lot of friends, we still feel vacant within our heart. So modern time people are trying to make friend in social media, like, oh, I have 10,000 followers, I have 100,000 followers, but they are hollow inside. At home they are lonely. People commit suicide, being lonely. Big comedian, they make people laugh with this all kind of comedy, but at home they are lonely because these people do not have connection to God. So we still have time. It is never late. It is late. It is better late than never. Better late than never. No matter, it doesn't matter how educated we are. The Krishna doesn't consider anything. He says, there's people who are stick to the principle, who follow these rules and regulations, who comes to me, they become fearless, and then they can cross over this ocean of problems in this material world very easily. And then we can return home back to God. Hare Krishna, that is the purpose of life. And Lord Nrsimhadev is there to back up us in our effort to know about Him. That the more we know Him, the more we hear about Him, we develop taste in Him. We start liking Him. And then at some time, we cannot live without Him. That state of mind is called Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Very, very beautiful. Maybe we can discuss more.
Yeah. I'm just running out of time. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Beautiful.
Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the key. This mantra. Remember this mantra in your life.
We'll do a short worship service now, including prayers to Lord Nrsimhadev, and then we're going to have homemade pizza, so stick around.
Oh, homemade pizza. Oh my God, the 6. Oh. Stretch. Prabhu, you closing the camera or?
Can you try it? Okay. Brian, you want to get your phone?